So I'm sure by now you've heard about this tech outage that's affected the lives of people all over the world. I thought I would just read a bit of news about this situation because it's also affecting my employer and it's nearly affected other people that I know. This first story is from CNET. Microsoft Crowdstrike outage causes chaos for flights, hospitals, and businesses globally. A faulty cybersecurity update from Crowdstrike wreaked havoc across medical and travel industries, with flights and medical procedures cancelled and delayed. Hospitals, banks, airports, airlines, and broadcasters worldwide were impacted by massive ongoing IT outage Friday. Thousands of Windows PCs, which many companies and organizations rely on as part of their critical internet infrastructure, were hit by the Crowdstrike outage. Perhaps most concerning, several U.S. states report that their emergency 911 call centers were also hit. The outage was blamed on a faulty update from cybersecurity company CrowdStrike. The company handles the security of many Windows PCs and services around the world, yes. In a statement Friday morning, CrowdStrike said that the issue has been identified, isolated, and a fix has been deployed. Microsoft Regional Director Troy Hunt called it the largest IT outage in history in his post on Twitter/X. Earlier today, Crowdstrike Update was responsible for bringing down a number of IT systems. This is very repetitive. I read this and thought this is good, but they're saying the same thing over and over. Okay. Microsoft said it was aware of an issue affecting people's ability to access 365 services late on Thursday. In an update issued around 1 a.m. Pacific time, the company said multiple services are continuing to see improvements in availability as our mitigation actions progress. The company didn't immediately respond to requests for further comment. In one update, it said some people had success overcoming the issue by rebooting their computers up to 15 times. So, the outage also took down the London Stock Exchange. All too often these days, a single glitch results in a system-wide outage affecting industries from healthcare and airlines to banks and auto dealers, Federal Trade Commissioner Chair Lena Khan said in a thread on X. Millions of people and businesses pay the price. These incidents reveal how concentration can create fragile systems. Okay, so I saw another article on the CBC that's a bit more concise, and I know this one is very US-centric. CBC, how the global tech outage is disrupting the lives of Canadians, and this was updated just an hour ago. Canadians weren't spared the headaches of cancelled flights, delayed medical appointments, and other problems caused by a failed cybersecurity software upgrade that caused a host of cascading issues around the globe on Friday. This is Friday, July 19th. According to an alert sent by the global cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike to its clients and reviewed by Reuters, the company's Falcon sensor software caused Microsoft Windows to crash and display a blue screen, known informally as the blue screen of death. Didn't we think those days were over? No. The problem crashed Windows machines and servers, sending them into a loop of recovery so they couldn't restart. CrowdStrike is actively working with customers impacted by a defect found in a single content update for Windows hosts. Macs and Linux hosts are not impacted. This is not a security incident or cyber attack. The issue has been isolated, identified, and a fix has been deployed. Okay, so David Shipley, CEO of cybersecurity firm Boseron Security, said a majority of the world's computers use Windows systems, and that is a vulnerability that Canada and other governments should think about addressing. So maybe we need to have a deep conversation about where government's role is in regulating tech companies to make sure all of our eggs in every single critical industry are not concentrated in so few companies, Shipley told CBC on Friday. This is an abject lesson in capitalism run amok and government asleep at the switch. Disruptions hit health services, Canadian airlines, businesses, government agencies, hospitals, and media outlets, including CBC, suffered the effects of the outage, which began overnight. Canada child benefit payments may be delayed. We got ours, so thank goodness. The outage also affected availability of some healthcare services. Airports across Canada advised customers to check with airlines about flight status before heading to the airport. Porter Airlines, which operates flights across Canada and to some locations in the U.S., said all flights would be cancelled until at least 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday. A friend of mine was super lucky. He flew it on Thursday and got to his destination, which he needed to be at. Fortunately, not impacted by that delay, but that was a near miss. So this has affected my employer as well. As I mentioned, I work at a hospital, and all of their units went down. From the communications team, as most of you are aware, there's been a worldwide information services system failure related to software called Crowdstrike, a widely used antivirus software. I won't read the whole thing, but it's impacted industries. So it started to affect our systems around 1 a.m. That included the servers, all the documentation systems, the computers that they call medwows that you push around and use, take from room to room. The Acudose, that's bad. That's how they get the medication out of the... It's like a lock device that holds all the pills. Wow, good thing this happened in the middle of the night. I hope they didn't need it. I mean, I'm sure they did. So their IS team quickly responded, began working to resolve the issue at all sites around 3:30 a.m. Thanks to their efforts, many systems were back online by 7 a.m., but the work will continue through the day. Clinical services, admitting and scheduling are their priority. So to address this issue, they had to manually fix and reboot each computer terminal unit by unit. Services impacting those we care for, our clinical teams, as well as those impacting safety and security, are the priority, and the team is moving through every clinical unit as we speak. This was sent this afternoon. So there haven't been any updates since then, but what a thing, you know? And it was not any sort of hack or terrorism. It was literally a fault in the update. Wow. That's really troubling. I remember when we started switching documentation to Epic, which the hospital I work at now doesn't use Epic. We're still using Meditech. Epic's like the next step up, but there's a lot of problems with that program. I've heard a lot of complaints. I haven't had to use it a lot since I finished nursing school. I'm not on that program, but quite the thing. Glad things seem to be getting resolved, but I just wanted to make a quick video about this because it's affecting people I know that I work with, and it just makes you think, like, wow, so much of our lives depend on this technology, but I guess there needs to be a little more oversight for, that was really bad. That's a bad situation. So anyway, that's all I had to say for now. I'll say goodbye and see you next time.